Welcome to Living Forever Free. I'm Mark Matchin.
And I'm Jennifer.
And we are talking about mixing it up. And last week was a fun week because we discovered that there is a command to experience FOMO. I'm going to stay with that because
Yes,
I
he
think
is. He's going to run it into the ground, just so you know. Forewarning you guys.
fear of missing out. And so fear of missing out, because that's what Hebrews 4:1 says. It says, let us fear lest receiving the promise of entering into his rest and experiencing the promised land, he said, you should seem to come short of it. So we don't want to miss out on what God has for us. But today, as we talk about this mixing it up, and where the scripture that comes from is on down when it says that the word of God, the promises of God, did not profit them, talking about the children of Israel going into the promised land. It didn't profit them not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. They didn't believe it. Their fear was stronger than their faith. We want to mix up our life with faith in the possibilities and the promises and the plans that God has for us. And so, speaking of mixing it up, here's one of the things that you can do that may be out of your comfort zone or a new experience that you've never had before, is you could come to Birmingham, Alabama, April the 16th through the 19th, and attend the second annual Forever Free conference that we are doing. It is going to be power-packed, so I wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way, make that announcement, make sure you're aware of it, let people know about it, share it out. You can find out more information at foreverfree.org, and we've got all the speakers there. I'll go down that list real quick. Andrew Womack's going to kick it off on Thursday night and be joining us via live stream and ministering to us. He'll be able to interact with us here at the church. We're excited about that. Of course, I'll be ministering. Chad Gonzalez will be ministering. Daniel Amstutz, who is the head of Healing Discipleship and the Healing Ministry at Charis Bible College, will be here. Jeremiah Johnson will be ministering, along with Brian Esri, who has Miracle Life University. It is going to be power-packed. And so we had people coming from all over the nation last year to be a part of this, and we're expecting even more. And now we've got people looking to come in from all over the world. And so mix it up. Come and be a part of our Forever Free conference. It's going to be amazing. That was a really good plug.
Oh, it was a great plug. I'm coming.
You'll be here.
I'm not going to miss it.
We'll be here. All right, so here we are talking about the life that we have, living forever free. Jesus came that we might experience the abundant life. But one of the things that we have to do is we have to, one, get past the fear, live out in faith, trust God in the same way that Peter stepped out of the boat, walking towards Jesus. Did he do it perfectly? No, he did not. But did Jesus condemn him for that?
Absolutely.
No. Now, he did say, where did you doubt? What was the point? Why did you have little faith? And so it wasn't a, I'm getting on to you. It wasn't a, I'm making fun of you. It wasn't a, you should have known better. It was instruction. So at what point did you fail? At what point, Peter, did you sink? And the point is when he looked around at the winds and the waves and became afraid. This natural, these circumstances, the things in our life, whatever's happening with your life financially, whatever's happening with your family, like all of that's temporary. And so God just wants us to say yes to him, to experience his life. Every time we say yes, it's an opportunity for him to demonstrate how much he loves us. But every time we say no, we're how did I say it before? But every time we say no, we're denying him the opportunity to show us how much he loves us.
I mean, you're right.
That's a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
But I think to mix it up, to enjoy new things, is that what we've got to do is find those little things to disrupt the routine, to disrupt the mundane, and find ways to start experiencing some new things.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts on that? What's some things that we can do differently?
Oh, there are many things that we talked about. No, why don't you start with this one, and I'll interject whenever.
You can actually just start just in, just practically, if there's certain worship styles that you like to listen to and certain worship songs.
Mm-hmm.
What if you listen to a different genre of worship?
Very true.
If you like that slow and immersive worship songs, which actually isn't your favorite.
No, I mean, oh, please don't get me started. I think I'm just more, I don't listen to a lot of it, because the unfortunate thing, it's all self-inflection. It's just a lot of me, 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 me. And I want it to be about him.
Yeah. But you also naturally,
No, I like that, that beat. I don't do, so I'm not a mushy gushy, normal female, I guess you could say. I like music that makes me happy.
well,
And sad music makes me sad. I don't like it. I want something that's peppy and makes me happy. So,
yeah, but the other reason is because you are truly a child of the 80s.
yes, I am.
And so an 80s song can come on and, man, next thing you know.
I don't know. There's this meme that I keep laughing about every time when you said that, and I laugh every time I see it. It's the one that says, "Why is it that I can, say every single lyric to almost every 80s song, but yet I don't remember why I walked into the kitchen."
Yeah.
Still makes me laugh.
You'll start dancing, you'll start singing. And the thing is I grew up in a Christian household.
Well, I grew up in a Christian household, just not a strict Christian household.
And so I don't know these songs.
No, you do not. I'm sorry.
But I have tried to teach you my Christian 80s songs. What's the problem? This is what I'm talking about. You need to try something new.
I have tried.
Mix it up. Go with some nice Petra and Christian 80s rock.
Appreciate it. Thank you for introducing them to me. Now, some of it is good.
I know.
I do like some of it, but
we're just having some fun.
But
you could take a worship genre,
yes,
and whether you like a slower worship, whether you like more modern, upbeat worship, you could listen to jazz worship. You could listen to country worship. You could, when I was over in Uganda, one of the churches, they did this song about going to the water. And it was very African in its sound. So I looked it up. And it's part of my playlist now, where it's almost like a spiritual and these amazing voices. So it's a completely different genre than you're going to hear in America. But what it does is when you listen to some of these things different, it's an opportunity for you to experience God in a different way.
Exactly.
And so that's one of the things that you can do. to kind of break this thing up, because Jesus's biggest miracles often happen in the middle of interruption.
Absolutely.
It's not that it was on his day planner
Mm-hmm.
and that it was, oh, wait a minute, I don't have time for that right now. He's going to Jairus' house, and this woman with the issue of blood
Interrupted
him.
Mm.
He's walking down the road with a crowd, and this blind man, Son of David, have mercy on me, and interrupts his day and interrupts where he was going. And those, just being willing to do these different things
Mm-hmm.
instead of having your day scheduled all the way out. It's
Allow God to interrupt.
yeah.
you,
So
especially.
you're breaking the pattern. Just find something, do something different. If you're used to praying in the coffee nook, then maybe go outside and pray a little bit. Maybe do so. Like, what is routine that maybe you could break that a little bit just to have a different
You have to start
experience.
somewhere. Just start somewhere.
Zechariah chapter 4, verse 10 says this: do not despise these small beginnings. It could be something as simple. And what are we doing here? We're just talking about not making major New Year's resolutions, major changes. Oh, you mean I've got to go to Africa? You mean I've got to experience something new? No, you don't have to do that. One of the things that you can do is when you check out at Walmart or at a grocery store,
Even if you're in a hurry.
even if you're in a hurry, what could you do, Jennifer?
Well, you can stop and maybe start a conversation while, the lady that's checking you out, and just start a conversation. And it could be an opportunity for ministry. You never know unless you actually open your mouth and talk.
Yeah.
And just start something that you may be uncomfortable with. Or you could take it to an airplane. How many times have you sat in an airplane and you've never had any kind of conversation with anyone sitting next to you?
Meaning?
Well, I know, but I'm just saying it could be a start of doing, because it may be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But just start something. Mm-hmm.
That actually happened to me one time. And could happen more, but I was on a plane
Mm-hmm.
on the way back from Atlanta, and the Spirit of God said, talk to the lady next to you.
Oh, yeah, I remember the story.
And so I just struck up a conversation. I'm not the kind of guy that likes to strike up conversations
Mm-hmm.
with people I don't know, because let's face it, it's awkward. Now, there are some of those people that they never meet a stranger. Okay, we have some friends that are that way. But for me, it's not as natural and not as easy to start those conversations. And so it was awkward. So I had a choice. I had a choice between whether or not I was going to obey God and allow him to potentially love this person next to me, through me, or to experience his love or something for the future. And so that's the choice when you do those uncomfortable things,
Mm-hmm.
is to experience something new. And so I started talking to this lady next to me, and where are you from, and that kind of thing. And what happened out of the conversation, she began to tell me about her church, her pastor. They're about 45 minutes away from here. And I said, well, I would love to meet him. And I gave her my number, and I said, I'd love for him to call me. And I didn't hear anything for 3 months. And then all of a sudden, I got a phone call from this guy that, as a result, it started a relationship. We've spent time together. He's ministered at our church. We've ministered at, it's been this ongoing thing.
Mm-hmm.
All of it started because I said yes to having an awkward conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I had forgotten about that.
That's so simple.
You don't despise small beginnings. Don't be conformed, Romans 12:2 says, to the patterns of this world. Hey, here's a good example. And as we're talking about this, you may say, "Wait a minute, this isn't life changing. This isn't
Oh,
this
but it could be.
this isn't me going into freedom. What about my issue? Why aren't you talking about my breakthrough that I need?" But I think we are.
Mm-hmm.
Because the life that we've lived, the freedom life that we live, has been because we've said yes to the uncomfortable. And probably you more so than me.
Oh, since 2011, I've just been uncomfortable all the time. So this setup, this is not comfortable for me at all. But I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. And like I said, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, that when you find that maybe something you said, even if it's uncomfortable, that it actually helps somebody.
Mm.
And there's something that it does for the soul. It does to your soul.
Just naturally. So we're not just talking about spiritual things here.
Mm-mm.
Because God wants you to experience life here in this world.
Mm-hmm.
He wants you to experience Him fully in your everyday life and take you to places you could never go before. But I'll use this example or something that God did for us. Because we've been saying yes to Him, we've allowed new connections, new relationships to form, doing new things. You have gone with me to conventions, to meetings. You have been put in environments that, where you've got to talk to people you don't know. How comfortable is that?
Never comfortable.
But yet you've done it with such grace, and you've done it with knowing that, hey, this is what we're called to, and so I'm going to keep saying yes to it.
Mm-hmm.
But then we had an opportunity to go to England in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
We're asked to come over there. It's actually where we launched the Forever Free website and the Forever Free.
I remember that.
Forever Free app.
Yeah.
But I said, since we're over here, why don't we hop over to Italy for a few days? And
the best vacation we have ever had. And it all stemmed from doing something uncomfortable.
Yeah. But when I first suggested it to you,
yes,
I said, why don't we hop over to Italy? What was your response?
I don't remember.
Yeah, well, I remember.
Tell me.
Your response was, by ourselves?
Alone? I don't think so.
A foreign country?
Mm-hmm.
We can't speak the language? We don't know what to do?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can take somebody with us.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'd let that fear rule us.
It was just a quick thought, and I thought, nope, no, we're going to do it. We're going to do it.
And how was it?
Oh, gosh. Best decision ever.
So,
it was so much fun.
And we want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to now. What that did is it set up. Okay, so our first time to go over to Europe, our first time to do something like that, what it did is it set up an anticipation for this year.
Mm-hmm.
We're scheduled to go back over there.
Right.
And now it's like, what else can we experience? And now we are wanting to take some friends of ours with us, but not because we're uncomfortable, but we want them now to experience what we experienced. Right. And that's the joy of breaking up routine. Mm-hmm. That's the joy of doing something new, even if it means, hey, I want to try a new sport.
Mm-hmm.
I want to learn a new language.
I know this seems so simple,
mm-hmm.
but you have to start somewhere. You do. I mean, and it will grow, and it will grow to more and more things.
And you may say, but this sounds natural and doesn't sound spiritual.
Yeah. Again, you got to start somewhere.
But if you're involving him in everything you do, and if you're learning a new language, not just because you want to learn a new language, but it's an opportunity to be able to minister and help people that you didn't have access to before. But here's the uncomfortable thing. Since we've been married, I've been trying to learn Spanish. How's that going?
Not.
And so I've started, I've tried. Now, I've made some progress. But the uncomfortable part is there's a point that you actually have to go to the Mexican restaurant and try to order in Spanish and be willing to mess it up. Or I could just take my dad's approach.
Don't.
Who just assumed that he knew enough Spanish that he could do anything and just went into every situation. Like my dad did not care. He did not. I don't know that he had any fear when it came to that. I was like, I don't think that means what you think it means, Dad. But he would just go for it. And because of that, he experienced so much. So, anyway, learn a new language. Try a new sport. Pick up a guitar. Learn to do that.
I think, to be honest, as we're talking, I think that the reason why we're throwing these examples out is that, yes, they may be uncomfortable, but it's such a simple start. So, you had talked about that scripture that says, don't despise small beginnings. Learning how to do in the middle of being uncomfortable, when it comes to the things of God, it will carry you. You are training your soul and your body. It's kind of a training ground.
That's the deal.
You're training your soul and you're training your body to do what's uncomfortable, whether it wants to or not. That way, when it gets to the spiritual things that God is asking of you, it's easy. It will be easy to just do it. Even though you might be uncomfortable, it's easy to say yes and easy to go for it.
The life of faith is a call to being comfortable and being uncomfortable.
That's exactly right. You're just comfortable and just being uncomfortable.
Because it's always by faith.
You just learn how to do it.
And you just go for it because he's always there. You have a confidence.
There's a trust in it.
And there's a trust. And in that place, you get to experience things that nobody else gets to experience. That's what's powerful.
I think people also maybe get discouraged because they feel uncomfortable all the time. So
listen.
Because I think it's a healthy thing to feel maybe initially uncomfortable, because if you get too comfortable, then you're relying on just you. The uncomfortable is you're having to rely and lean on the Father in everything you do.
When you say yes to new things, I said it takes you places and causes you to experience things that really very few people get to if you'll live your life with that mindset. And I know so many people have been bound by fear. I can't do that. I would never be able to do that. I can't get on a roller coaster. I can't, and I'm just thinking, when I said that, it reminded me of our first trip to Cedar Point. Cedar Point, second oldest amusement park in the nation.
we're a weird family. Our vacations, we love doing. For years we did roller coasters.
But they had 17.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, 17 roller
It was
coasters.
great.
But the first one we got on was called the Millennial Force. And it's one of those, it doesn't work its way up to the better part. It starts you right out of the gate, going almost straight up to the top of the hill on this roller coaster. But here's the thing, it's sitting there on Lake Erie. And so on one side of the roller coaster cart that we're in, it's nothing but a drop off, and all you see is the lake. And on the other side is the railing and all of that. And so,
guess where Mark made me sit?
Where, Jennifer?
On the Lake Erie side with no railing, because he didn't want to sit there.
Man, that was freaky. Freaked me out. And so I'd rather her be on the side that could potentially be a problem. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
but
you did.
But
Oh, but it was great. I enjoyed that.
I know. It was awesome, because I've dealt with fear of heights before, and it's kind of that kind of thing. But
so did I.
Well, thank you for loving me.
Oh, I did.
And so it was amazing. But what happened is then we got used to it. I would sit on that side, but then we took the ultimate step.
We sat in the front.
We sat in the front because we saw people older than us.
I thought that was the other one.
Well, on both of these, we saw people older than us getting on the very front, raising up their hands, doing all of that. And we was like, if they can do it, we can do it. And so we did it. And now that's all we want to do. Mm-hmm. It's a better experience, isn't it? So anyway, I got just a few seconds left. Try something new. Hey, here's a challenge. Don't sit in the same sacred seat in your church. Go to the other side.
You might meet someone new.
You might discover there's a whole group of people in your church you've never met before. So do something new. Break out of the routine this week. See how it goes. It's going to be awesome. Don't forget, April 16th through the 19th, Forever Free. Be a part of that. And our conference, you can register online at foreverfree.org. But we love you. Mix it up. Break out of the routine. Have a great week.